rescue, Violet.
Gracious me!
Why, you filthy... Oh, you're not one of the ruffians. Thank you for rescuing me. Please help get me out of here. I've had more than enough of brigand hospitality. So I'm going to have to escort her. Still on Laurelin in the Ranges of Eridor? Yes, I am. Although those of us in the Ranges have pretty much gradually stopped playing. I mean, there's a couple of people still knocking about keeping their lights on. But we're certainly long past the good old days. A pretty huge kid doing raids and stuff. But Laurelin itself is doing quite nicely. From what I hear of friends who play on Evernight, which is the other main European server, that is the bigger of the two servers, primarily on the basis that it's not the role-play encouraged server. It is role-playing on such a server anyway, but I think when they did the server merges the last time round, people were wary of playing on Laurelin just in case they had characters which were maybe risking a banhammer because they've got stupid names like, you know, like Pew Pew Master or something like that. But to be honest, not much is enforced or encouraged at all really on play servers these days. So Laurelin is smaller in terms of population, not detrimentally so. It's not like you're hard to get groups and stuff. Away from this fortification coming. Yes, it's not like you can't find groups and stuff on Laurelin, but I know Evernight in particular has had a lot of problems in recent weeks with lag. I don't know if it still does. I don't know if it's an ongoing problem or whether it's just been during certain updates that have that problem. Generally speaking, you don't really notice that on Laurelin. Certain regions sometimes, or certain peak times, you might get a little bit of stuttering and stuff, but otherwise it's not too bad. So I'm going to go all the way back to Farmer Maggot and his son. Wild Woody, have they already taken the hobbits to Isengard? If you're on about our LOTRO series, yes we have. We have taken... I don't think it was it a hobbit? Who did we do? No, we did the Dunland region with Pendulous, our elf champion.
How do you do?
I wish the Bounders had more hobbits. This sort of thing wouldn't happen if the Shire was guarded better in the first place. Well, no matter. Here, please take these coins for your trouble. So I get some biscuits and some gift muffins. So yeah, we've done the Isengard region. It's a fairly nice region. Nice bit of questing. Nice bit of lore behind it. Obviously, you build up to going to Isengard proper. You arrive at Isengard when obviously it's been ruined and all the trees have been burnt down and that, but you get to sort of see how it used to look in the past. It kind of builds up to where you get to the raid on the Tower of Isengard, or the instance cluster around Isengard, which is quite nice. Although how easy it might be to get a group for that these days, I'm not sure. But Dunland's a pretty good region. Yeah, I didn't take hobbits literally to Isengard. That being said, whenever we get around to doing West Rohan, I'll have to swim across here. As part of West Rohan, we do have a little brief stroll over to Isengard right at the end of that region, sort of post Helm's Deep in the storyline. And we get to see what happened to Isengard after the Battle of Helm's Deep. So we get to go there again, and I don't know which character I'm doing there, so I might take a hobbit to Isengard as part of that region. Remains to be seen. There we go, Linda Bolger.
Goodness!
You slew that great evil-looking wolf. That is wonderful. I hope you will accept this small token of my gratitude. It's not much, but I'm certain you have saved Budgeford and the Shire from a terrible fate. So we can have a medium shoulders, but we're heavy, so we don't want that, or light trousers, so again not useful, or a weapon. So none of them that I can use really. Mount back up, track quests. Let's see what's closest. Lockasick says, my dwarf character is still in the Blue Mountains Regiment, a dwarf champ. So that's your kinship. Ottavar?
Just a moment.
I suppose it wouldn't be right to report that fool to the sheriffs, but I wonder who this chief might be, and why would he want to play this terrible joke on me? You don't suppose that Lotho? No. Well, there's no way to prove anything, I guess, but if Lotho wants to buy my farm, it will have a long wait, let me tell you. It will be a lot more than this little joke before I let go of my land. Thank you kindly for all your work. You may just have saved me from doing something very foolish. Please accept this small reward. So what do we got? We have heavy shoulders, which is definitely an increase. We've got increased armour and increased vitality. A light robe or a medium legs. So very clearly it's going to be the shoulders. Equip the shoulders. And we've got another quest over here. So this is the one that was getting shot by the arrow. We had to find the pages.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Marvellous, you found them all. Thank you. Now to see what this means. Goodness, this is interesting and distressing. I will need a moment more to read this, but it would appear the author of this journal was a man named Callum, and the tale it tells is an astonishing one. As hard as it is to believe, it would seem a distant ancestor of mine slew one of his in a great battle. And, oh dear, he means to revenge himself upon me.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
Goodness, the author of this journal, Callum, has a dark past. It would seem the death of his ancestor to my ancestor at that great battle was a black mark on his family. They bore that mark for centuries. After a string of bad luck which Callum blames on this mark, he decided to try and erase it by killing a descendant of the one who killed his ancestor. After years of tracking, he found the Shire. And me! The arrowhead that killed his ancestor was the one that was shot into my door. I think I know where you can find him. He describes where he has set his camp, and it sounds like it is west of here, on the far west side of the Frog Moors. You have to stop him. So take that quest. Mount up. Is it going to mount up? Come on. So next nearest quest is back in stock. That guy is far to the west. Let's go do him at first, actually. And then maybe... where's the grandson's lunch? Oh, it's literally up in the quarry. What have we got? Violet in Peril is at Matt Harfoot. So, yeah. We can cheat our way back to stock. So, we're in the northern half of the Frogmoors. So this is slightly north of Frogmorton. I don't think many other quests actually come this side of the river. So he's hiding out here where no one can find him. And I think we might be about to commit a murder. All places you could set up your camp. There he is. Has he been bitten by a toad? It looks like a done lending. So the wretched little man sent you to end my life, did he? I suppose it is only right. My life has been accursed because of the mark of dishonour upon my family. Do as you will. I have not the strength to defend myself, as you can see. When that rat man found the arrow in his door, he raised an alarm. I was afraid of being found before I was ready, so I fled my hiding place. In my flight, though, I startled a boar, and the vile thing gored me. It is only a matter of time before I succumb to the wound. If you are not going to kill me, at least do me the service of telling that Willamar he has nothing to fear from me now. The tired years of my life are nearly spent. Yeah, we're not going to help him. See ya. I'll let you bleed out. Bye. So, we can mount back up. We'll take a cheeky mithril coin over to Matt Harfoot in stock, just to save us a bit of riding around.
Oh, good day.
Oh, I'm so happy Violet is safe. I never would have sent her down to the Marish if I thought she'd go off on her own like that to face those ruffians. But it's thanks to your bravery that she's been freed and with no harm to her. Please accept this small reward for your great deed. more mavens and no space in my bags to put them. So let's clear a bit of space. Don't need those. Consume the mavens. And what do we got? So Pie Lady's outside. Got another hand in inside, I think.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Ah, that looks to be the yeast, and it's not gone bad neither. Good job, thank you. So that is him done. So I'll tell you what, let us attempt.
Please,
Pie
stay a
number 2.
moment.
And this time, let's not accidentally walk into someone. Come on, pick up the pie. So we were good last time. We can go west out of town. Just watch for those eyes on the minimap. Now last time, I think it was coming into Bywater that I accidentally ran into a hobbit. So we'll pay attention to that this time. But in the meantime, we've got a couple of trait points that we haven't looked at yet. So when we dinged level 15, we got another trait point because we get a trait point at every odd level. And we also got one for doing the level 15 class quest. So if we press the J key to bring up our traits, so we're going with the Maelstrom, which is the DPS line. So 2 points to spend. So if we spend our first point in setup, attack and damage, which will take us up to rank 4. We've currently got 15% setup skill damage. It will take us to 20% setup skill damage. Our setup skills are just our basic builder skills that give us some metal. So if we put 1 point in that, we've got 5 points in the first row of traits, which means we unlock the second row of traits and we get a trait set bonus. So we've got innate strength, raw power. Quick attacks grant the buff innate strength raw power, increasing the brawler's damage. If a quick attack is performed while innate strength raw power is still active, the buff is instead advanced to a higher tier to a maximum of tier 4. Okay, so that's not too bad. So what counts as quick attacks is the question. Is it literally just going to be fast skills? I would presume so. We'll see how we go anyway. We'll just have a look out for that buff. But potentially being able to maintain a plus 25% damage buff is quite nice. So for our second trait point, and I am wary of where we're getting near to where we ran into a hobbit before. So we either have might increase or we have critical chance increase. And what I would say about the might increases, and this goes for every class that has a trait which gives you increased stats. And I'm just going to go slightly north of the road here, just as we go past Frogmorton, because that bloody hobbit is somewhere down at the bottom of this hill. We want to avoid him. So any trait that gives you might, agility, vitality, whatever, any of the basic stats on any class is not really worth the investment. The numbers might seem like a lot at low levels, but they are not much at all at higher levels, and they do scale a bit, but you can get these from other sources, so having to spend your hard-earned trait points on these, not worth it. In rare cases, maybe on certain classes, if the alternative traits are not great, then maybe you can consider it. But I would say, generally speaking, there's always something better that you can spend it on, so I wouldn't bother with those. The other trait, however, which is the critical chance increase. So it gives us an extra percentage of critical... oh, Jesus Christ, there's one to my left and I'm not paying attention. An extra percentage of critical chance with all skills. And at the last rank, critical hits with finishers now generate 1 additional metal. So presumably finishers are just anything that consumes metal, I assume, or is a finisher a skill that we're going to get later on? We'll soon find out. But yeah, critical critical chance is certainly worth getting. Or we could continue to spend it on our traits from our first tier. So obviously we've got 1 and 1 on first strike. Probably still worth getting the 5th point in setup attack damage. Dexterous setup becomes more potent and it gives us finisher skill damage bonuses. So I'd say probably overall we will want to come back to these at some point as a brawler. I think though for this one, at low levels, I would rather have the extra 5% on setup skill damage over the 1% of crit chance. So I'm going to go with that. So we've spent 6 points in our tree. Once we've got 10 points spent in our tree, we'll unlock the second row. So every 5 points unlocks a new row in our trait tree. So we've delivered that pie. So that is 8 pies out of 12. 4 pies left to go. So we are slowly grinding the pies out of the way. We are now going to go back to Willemar Bolger with a cheeky mithril coin.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Goodness, what a relief, and yet I can't help but feel badly for this Callum. You see, I have read more of his journal, and his life was a truly pitiable one. The place where he lives, far in the north, seems to be a dark, hard-fought place, nothing like the Shire, and he's not had much luck. So maybe he's actually from Angmar then. I think he may deserve a bit of charity if you would help me with this.
Could I take a moment of your time?
He may not accept charity from me, his sworn enemy, but I think I should try to help this Callum all the same. This wound of his from the boar most likely needs to be bandaged. To ward off infection and help the wound to heal, we should soak the bandages in an unguent of, let's see, what would be best? Prickly broom, I think. I already have the bandages, but I don't have the broom leaves. Could I ask you to help me once more and gather some prickly broom leaves from the bushes southeast of Budgeford near to the water? No, we need king's foil. It's a weed. Don't know if it grows in these parts though. So we're going to mount up. We're going to go look for that. Where is it? Slightly southeast of Budgeford, not too far. So it should just be down here by the river. So it should all be around here. We'll get a couple of harvest flies. We've got some sickle fly slayer deed left to do. Murder those on the way round. What are we looking for? I'm in the right area, aren't I? Yeah. Prickly broom leaves. Where are you? There's one. Okay, now I know what I'm looking for. Okay. Pick up that one. Maybe, nope, I was going to say, maybe if we pick up some of these, it may adjust the area that we're looking in to slightly reduce the area so we know where to look for the remaining bushes, but it seems, no, there's plenty up here on the hill. Get 4 of these. Damn it, I knew you were going to interrupt me. For that you can die. He's giving me a dirty filth in my loot. I know there's another bush behind me. I'll murder this sickle fly. Just because he's there. Right, so how are we doing on the sickle fly slayer? We have killed 5 out of the 40 we need, so we're slowly getting there. Like I said before, I'm not going to murder every Slayer on camera, but those that we can chip away at on camera, maybe complete what we can. We'll try our best. Most of them we'll probably find that we actually complete by the end of the playthrough. I think the only one that we will probably have outstanding is going to be the slugs. So I'll have to do that one off camera or after we finish recording the Shire. So mount up. Bring those leaves back to Willemar Bolger, and presumably he's going to make some sort of salve that we can go take back to his arch nemesis. My bags are full again.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Ah, you have the leaves. Please let me have them. This will only take a moment. Please take these bandages to Callum at his campsite on the far west of the Frogmoors. Tell him he should change the bandages daily. There are enough here for 7 days. Hopefully that will be enough to help him heal. Also let him know that I hold no malice against him, and ask that he do the same for me. Please don't kill me. I gave you bandages, even though I told you not to tell him that it was me giving him the bandages. So, whatever. What can we throw in the bin? We don't need all the beers that the tavern keep giving us as quest rewards. We've got the helm that gives us a 2 hope, which is worth keeping around just for sort of trolley gearing purposes. Don't need weapons. Don't need that weapon. I've jumped off a cliff. Somehow not broken my legs. Oh, there's a boat there as well. Consume 2 mavums. Get a bit of this out of the inventory. Throw that away. Now, depending on how you guys are for bank space, you might want to either get rid of all these task items, these ones with the purple backgrounds. I hoard everything though, so I gather them all up. I send them to one of my alts who acts like a quartermaster, keeping all of these and dish them out. I think technically I've actually got 2 of them acting as quartermaster now because the level ranges are so extensive throughout the game. I've got one doing like up to level 100 and one doing all the stuff post 100. So got a tactical helm, but it's light armour. Don't care about that. Bandages from the little man. And this is not treachery of some sort. I'm not sure what to say. I've hated this mark against my family for so long. I thought it would finally be erased if the little man was dead. But these are not the actions of an enemy. Should my anger be aimed at those who forced my ancestors into battle? Or should I lay the blame upon fate, leave my anger behind? I have much to think upon. I thank you. This Wilmar has nothing to fear from me. So he's only going to give me some weapons, which I can't use. There we go, we can get rid of the beer. Another beer.